On the first day, 3 regions in Ontario can begin to reopen. The province is continuing to report low numbers of new COVID-19 cases. Today, Ontario reported 1,072 new cases of the virus, 40 of which were in Ottawa. But it comes at a time the first known case of the South African variant has been reported in the city, a strain of COVID that is believed to be more contagious and deadly. It's also still unclear how effective the vaccines are at stopping it from spreading. As a result of this new, possibly more contagious variant, various news outlets have learned the province plans to move March break, a decision which is expected to be announced in the next few days. Today, Nepean MPP and Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport, Lisa MacLeod, said she trusts the Education Ministry to make the right call, adding the emergency orders were first implemented just as March break was starting last year, negatively impacting many of her sectors.
We know that these sectors will have a long road to recovery, but we were happy earlier this week to see some relief for our sectors, in ski hills in particular, where they were able to open up in green zones this week, and in the rest of Ontario next week, with the exception of Peel, Toronto, and York. But the health and safety and well-being of Ontarians will come first and foremost. And so
sources say March break could be moved to April, May, or June, depending where COVID-19 numbers trend. The concern is if students and teachers go on break, there will be an increase in travel, leading to numbers rising again. The province is also struggling to meet their vaccine targets after a shortage of shipments from drug company Pfizer. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has called the shortages unacceptable, speaking multiple times with the CEO of Pfizer Canada.
Well, I spoke to the CEO of Pfizer Canada, and I just told him the urgency, what we need these vaccines. And how much, in my opinion, Pfizer's let us down. We had to close down the Toronto Convention Centre. It's a logistical nightmare when you have it planned and find out at the last minute that you aren't getting the doses that we need. And I asked him, we need some doses. And how is all these other countries around the world getting them, and Canada isn't getting them?
The shortage comes at a time an Ottawa retirement home manager has been suspended after accusations that he allowed his wife to receive a dose of a COVID-19 vaccine intended for a frontline worker. In an anonymous letter sent by staff at the Sterling Park retirement home on Merville Road, it said frontline staff members at the home were offered leftover doses of the Moderna vaccine that were originally intended for residents on February 7th. It went on to say a housekeeper was bumped so that the general manager's wife, who is retired and lives at the home, could get the vaccine. The letter also said that the wife wasn't supposed to be living in the home because of COVID-19 restrictions, calling it an abuse of power. Riverstone Retirement Communities, who manages the home, said in a statement, "We have been made aware of concerns in regard to recent vaccination efforts at one of our communities. We take this matter seriously and we will be looking into the situation immediately." The manager in question has been suspended while we investigate the incident. Ottawa Centre NDP MPP Joel Harden has now called on the Ford government to launch a full public investigation into this alleged incident of fraud. I asked Nepean MPP Lisa MacLeod during a virtual press conference today if she supported this move.
It's the first I'm hearing about it. Obviously, it's inappropriate for people to be jumping the queue. We have been very clear with the ethics-based approach that General Hillier has been taking, and we are trying to get vaccines into the arms of our most vulnerable population.
As the new variants of COVID-19 continue to spread worldwide, including here in Canada, today the CDC has issued new recommendations which suggest you wear 2 masks instead of 1 for even more protection. Charlie Cenac, UIN News, Ottawa.